today we are going to learn how to write and how to solve systems of linear equations. Okay. So these are two separate skills. We've got the writing skill, okay, and we've got the solving skill. Write and solve systems of linear equations. Okay. First, we're going to do the writing part. So let me show my example that we're going to use to construct our first system. A baker and a pizzaiolo, remember that just means a pizza maker, are both making pies. Here I'm referring to a baker would be baking like a dessert pie, and then just pie is like the Italian term for a pizza, so like a pizza pie. The baker makes 8 more than 4 times the number of pies the pizzaiolo makes. Together they make 38 pies. Write a system to represent the situation, then solve it. Okay. So if I'm going to represent that situation, I first need to give my main variables letter names. So we're going to do B for baker, P for pizzaiolo. Okay? B for baker, P for pizzaiolo. Go back to the problem. So a B and a P are both making pies. The B makes 8 more than 4 times the number of pies the pizzaiolo makes. So what that means is B equals 8 plus 4P. B equals 8 plus 4P. B equals 8 plus 4P. And to translate that back into English, it's B for baker, the baker, equals is makes. The baker makes 8 plus is more than, and then this is 4 times the number of pies the pizzaiolo makes. So it's the baker makes 8 more than 4 times the number of pies the pizzaiolo makes. Okay, so we translated that sentence. Now we're going to translate this sentence here. Together they make 38 pies. We don't write together. We say the baker and the pizzaiolo, or B plus P. B plus P equals 38. Okay. Now we want to find out how many pies. Now, by the way, this is it. We did it. We wrote the system. Done. Check. Okay, so now we want to solve the system. Okay, so we wrote the system down. There will be questions on your test and on your standardized exams where you just have to do here and stop. Okay, so good. Now, if you're asked on a standardized test to solve a system of linear equations, you'll be given the system. So they'll give you this and then ask you to do this step. Okay, so they won't ask you to do both, because on a standardized exam, a state test, they will not ask you to do 2 skills in one problem. They'll try to just test one skill at a time, typically. All right. So now how do I go from here to actually knowing what B equals, P equals? All right. Well, the first thing I need to do, we're going to use the matrix method here. So we're going to solve using the matrix method. So this is using technology, which is allowed, and we're going to be using the matrix method. There are other methods to use. The two most common are substitution and elimination. But this is called the matrix method because we can use our technology, and it's actually very easy. Now, in order to use this matrix method, I need to get the letters to line up vertically, okay, which they aren't right now. And I need the equal signs to line up vertically, which they aren't right now. Further, I need all the numbers on the right, the whole numbers, and the letters and numbers on the left. Okay, so an example of what I need is right here. So I've got letter, letter equals number. Here I've got letter equals number and then letter. So I need to fix the top one. Okay, so what would I need to do to the top equation to move this 4p over here so that I'll have b and then something with the 4p equals and then the 8? How do I take the 4p and basically put it on the left side of the equal sign? Subtract what? 4p. And then remember to keep everything in balance. What I do on the right, I've got to do on the left. So I'll just do minus 4p on both sides. And then we're going to go ahead and write these two little arrow, like a double arrow thing here. And we're just going to rewrite this so we have it in the form that we need. Okay, so now I have b minus 4p equals 8. And then I didn't change the bottom one. It's just b plus p equals 8. Okay, now, if you have any letters that don't have numbers next to them, it's extremely important that you come in here and write 1. Okay? Very, very important step. Now, put a box around these two equations. I'll show you just what I mean. Okay, got a box around it. Doesn't have to be an art project. Now, divide the box in half with a row to make 2 rows. Okay. Now divide the rows into 3 columns like this. Put a vertical line after the B, and then put a vertical line going straight through the equal signs. So we're really dividing this up. Now we've created this 6-cell, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 2-row, 3-column grid. Okay, that's what we've really done. This right here is called a 2 by 3 matrix. Okay. Notice I said 2 by 3. Okay, so this means by. Kind of like sometimes you hear somebody say, "Give me a 2 by 4." They mean a piece of wood with those dimensions. They don't mean give me a 2 times 4. So sometimes that X means the word by. So 2 by 3 matrix. Okay, so with just one final step before we can jump into the calculator, and that is to go ahead and redraw a grid. Okay, just redraw your grid. And this time, we're going to only put the numbers. which is why it was so crucial for us to write ones where there were no numbers. So go ahead and make 2 rows and 3 columns. That's the 2 by 3. And line everything up here to make it look nice. And now what's nice is you just copy this down, okay? So here you just put a 1. Here you're going to copy down a -4. Here, I see I didn't write this as a 38, right? Here you're going to write an 8. Here you're going to write a 1. Here you're going to write a 1. Here you're going to write a 38. Okay, so it's just 1, -4, 8, 1, 1, 38. Okay. Now everybody turn on your calculators. And let's start by clearing the memory. Second plus 7, 1, 2. Second plus 7, 1, 2. Everybody should be looking at a screen that looks like that. Okay, maybe yours doesn't say test mode, but go ahead and click clear to go home. Now we want to go to the matrix menu. So look right here. You see that word matrix right there? Now to activate that screen, we have to hit the second key and then come down here and hit the matrix button. Okay, does everybody see this list? Now come over here and hit this right cursor key 2 times. And then come down here and hit the enter key to enter the matrix edit window for matrix A. Now, quick look back at the board. This is a 2 by 3 matrix. So back to the calculator. We're going to hit 2, enter, 3, enter, 2, enter, 3, enter. Do you see how it kind of forms a table that looks very similar to the 2-row, 3-column table we created? Well, now you just have to put in these numbers. And you do it by typing the number and then hitting enter. Okay, do not use the cursor keys. That can mess you up. So it's 1, enter. Now, please be careful here. You have to do -4, not -4. Stay away from this orange key. -4, enter. Oops. Okay. And then 8, enter. 1, enter. 1, enter. 38, enter. Does everybody's calculator look like this? Okay, now we're going to quit this menu by hitting second mode to quit. Now everybody should be back on the home screen. Is everyone back here? Okay. Now hit second matrix again. Okay, come over here and hit the right cursor 1 time to enter the math menu and go down this list below the bottom of the screen until you get to the letter B, R, R, E, F. B, ref. RREF stands for reduced row echelon form, but that's irrelevant and unnecessary. It's just trivia right now for you. Go ahead and hit enter. And now your calculator should look just like this. Does your calculator look just like this? Thank you. Now let's go back to the matrix menu by hitting second matrix. And now you're on the names list. Don't hit the cursor, just hit enter, okay? And it's pasted that matrix you created in there. And now just hit enter one more time. Now take your finger and cover up the ones and zeros. Do you see those two numbers right there? The top number is baker. The bottom number is pizzaiolo. Okay, now let me explain how I knew that. Do you see how the first column is a 1 on top? Look at our table. The first column goes with the B for baker. So that's how I knew that that top row number was for baker. Now the bottom row, the second column has a 1. We'll column 2 for our setup here is P for pizzaiolo. So that must mean that 6 goes with P. So how many pies did the baker make? Let's bring it all together here and write down the answer. How many pies did the baker make? Look at your calculators. Is it 32 or 6? 32. And how about the pizzaiolo? Very good. Okay. So that is how you do writing and solving systems of linear equations, where in the solving we used this matrix method. Thanks so much for your attention and for watching.